Hello again. The breaking news this evening is that Newcastle have agreed a deal with Stuttgart for their striker Nick Voldemade. Well, Keith Downey is up in the northeast, he covers Newcastle, and he joins us now. Right, Keith, we've gone through the nuts and bolts of the deal, but what everybody watching wants to know is, what does this mean for Alexander Isak?
I knew you were going to ask me that, Mike. It's the first question I think the fans of most other clubs would want to know off the back of this. And what I've been saying about this situation now for Newcastle and Liverpool is this is the dominoes beginning to fall. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Alexander Isak definitely moves to Liverpool, because, of course, Liverpool still need to make a Premier League record bid that was higher than the £110 million offer they made last month. And of course, Newcastle still need to make sure they get Nick Voldemade signing over the line. Yes, he's on his way to the northeast. I'm expecting him to land at Newcastle Airport later on this evening and undergo his medical tomorrow. But of course, that deal has not been finalised yet, and Newcastle will want to ensure that that deal is done and complete, and Voldemade is in the building, signed and sealed, before they allow Alexander Isak to go. But I'll refer you back to the statement that came out from Newcastle United 9 days ago in retort to Alexander Isak's social media post. And they said then that the conditions of a sale have not been met and they're unlikely to do so. Now, that has changed, hasn't it? Because Newcastle are close to signing Nick Voldemade. They've got that agreement in place there with Stuttgart, a package of £65 million, 60 plus, so 68.5 plus 4.5 in add-ons. So they're close to doing that. That, I think, moves the goalposts as far as Isak is concerned. Now, look, Newcastle still want to get another striker in, and I think they will try to do that before they allow Isak to move to Liverpool, or till they listen to offers from Liverpool. But what I would say is the fact Newcastle are closing in on one, that makes it increasingly likely that Isak moves to Liverpool. I don't say it's a definite, but because Newcastle have got one striker in, it makes things a bit more smooth for that process. So look, my understanding is that there's pretty much been a private understanding at the club that Isak is likely to go, given his conduct over the last few weeks, but they were not going to sanction it until they got in at least one, potentially two replacements. Voldemade, if they can get it over the line, is one, and of course they're still looking for a second one. I think there is a situation where he could be allowed to go with just Voldemade, but I think in Newcastle's ideal situation, they'd want to get one more striker in before allowing Liverpool to talk to Alexander Isak and that deal going through for what would be, of course, a Premier League transfer record.